Hello, hello, hello. About to see if this is working. We're about to see if this is working. I will admit that I just sat here for like 2 minutes with a black screen and did not realize I was only talking to myself as it wasn't working. So I can't even really apologize for that because y'all didn't know about it unless I wouldn't have told you. All right. I think that everything is working. And I think that we're here for our second episode in our NBA 2K26 MyNBA Memphis Grizzlies series. We started off last episode, episode number 1, obviously. And in real life, the things went the complete opposite way of how they went here. That is the best way to put that. Because we won the 2 games against the Lakers on here. But in real life, we lost the 2 games against the Lakers. And I won't give a complete review of those games, but I'll discuss somewhat during the course of this. So, I think the plan for this video is to play against the Spurs and the Thunder. Depending on how things are going and time-wise, we might just simcast this Suns game. Then giving y'all a full preview. The next episode, we'll be focusing heavy on this Nets game. Magic somewhat back-to-back games against the Magic and against the Atlanta Hawks because there's a theme in those episodes. Actually, even this Pelicans game. And that theme is that it's old faces and new places because this Nets team has KCP and Santi Aldama and Zaire Williams, if you want to include him. The Magic obviously have Desmond Bane. I imagine they still have Tyus Jones here. They do still have Tyus Jones. It's kind of sucks he's that far down. The Hawks, if you care that much, have Luke Kennard, which it is funny because real life Grizzly fans are not big fans of Luke Kennard. I didn't really have the biggest problem with it, but I understand what their problem was. And then the Pelicans love Brandon Clark. Brandon Clark is here, and I don't think he's starting, but they have him high in their rotation. So, and John Crutcher, shout out GD. So, last episode, we traded for Michael Porter Jr., Daron Sharp, and Sadiq Bey. So that's how those, you're like, add that, however they get there. That's how they got there. So I'll give you all, I kind of already recapped episode 1. So if not, go back and watch that, and then you can come back and watch this. So I already went over the game plan of this video and the next. And then the one after that, we might just go ahead and simulate to the trade deadline. Time will tell there. So we need to get through this first game. So I want to make sure everything is working. Before we get too far in depth, I still think that it is. So we're playing against the Spurs. We've lost to twice this season already. Mainly due to Harrison Barnes. I'm pretty certain. I know that Wemby did not play in the second game. I'm pretty sure he didn't even play in the first game. Edie played in the second game. I don't think he played in the first one. I also don't think that either of those games. I think both of those games were in San Antonio, so they're traveling to Memphis for this. 2026. Let's just go ahead and be honest. We're 4 days in, almost 5 days. By the time this is uploaded, it might be 5 days. I like Michael Porter Jr. Obviously, I made a big deal trading for him. Not the biggest fan of him being like the quote-unquote star of our team. I will say that. Especially because John Jarrett's still here. But regardless, back to what I said. We're in 2026 already. Already getting lost. Trying to multitask as we give up open Devin Vassell for 3. 2026. We're 4 days in. By the time this is uploaded, probably 5 days in. Not the best year. Not the best start to a year. Everything kind of sucks and or is depressing. The NFL season is almost done. Oh, let's do this. Let's do this. We're going to review the Lakers game. That way I could not have to worry about that much more. So, the Lakers game Friday night felt like any time I was watching it, it was Luka complaining to the referees. And we somewhat was putting up good, we were doing good things, and then it got to the fourth, and when it mattered, and nothing good happened, and that was kind of depressing as Wemby just gets right in there. And so I hated that. And then the game tonight, I will admit, I can't give a full in-depth review of because I was mainly prioritizing the Steelers and Ravens Sunday Night Football game because it could have been the last time that my favorite football player of all time was playing, and that was a fantastic game. I imagine that most people checked that out as well. But anytime that I was watching that game, it felt like the whole Lakers team, mainly LeBron and Luka, were complaining to the referees. And, obviously I have a bias. I'm a Grizzlies fan. I'm rooting for the Grizzlies. And so I know that this team, there's several teams. There's a handful of teams. All right. Wemby is doing, well, if Edie was here, we'd be doing a lot better. But Jock Landale were putting a lot of pressure on early. But, I don't know. I did definitely Friday night. I was very Luka is talking to the referees after every play, even on defense. The play is done, and he's still talking to the referees. We just got pushed out of bounds. Now I'm not talking to the referee. I'm talking to y'all. But I will give the Lakers credit in this. Once they tie it up, which in the case of tonight, they were down by a lot, and then there's a lot of free throws. There's a freaking point in the game. It also doesn't help when you don't have half of your team, and the half of the team that is playing, they're all in foul trouble. There's a point where there's a graphic show that said foul trouble, and almost all of them was either 5 fouls or 4 fouls. And so I at least give the Lakers credit. Once they tied it up, they just did what they needed to do and didn't even rely on the fouls. They just relied on us having our heads screwed in backwards and us not necessarily knowing what to do. Jalen Wells, I can at least give credit because he scored almost all of our points in the fourth quarter, which, again, is not necessarily – it's not a bad thing, but it didn't help us win, so I can't even just say it's a good thing. Or I just said that ass backwards. You get the point. We lost back-to-back, and I hated it. We at least don't have to worry about playing the Lakers again, unless it's in the postseason, which, if we're talking about the postseason, that's good, but long-ass way away there. So good for Jaren to get up there for that. I said it a lot in the last video, and it's probably going to be a theme throughout this series. I will say this as well. If this series is the, oh no. I'm glad it was a foul. I should have just went for the jump shot, but he was already running for it. I couldn't just stop and get the jump shot. Hope Cedric Coward is okay, because he was doing magnificent and then got injured and then freaking everything went to shit, like I've already said. If in this series we're winning, because we won our first 2 games, I'm going to hope and imagine that we win a lot of our games. But in real life, the complete opposite is happening. I'm going to blame myself. And I might stop the series for that. I know that's a crazy-ass thing to say, but, that sucks. That would be depressing, but time will tell there. Again, depressing start to 2026. Everything, 2025, I could probably name more good things than bad things. I will at least say we're only 5 days in, things should get better. I hope things get better. It also felt weird because New Year's got tied in and lumped in with Christmas and kind of 2-week space was all jumbled together and things were half-assed and you don't really know what day it is. Where now it's hey, business is picking up, which me saying that again sounds depressing. Maybe the theme of this episode is, I don't want to say that. That sucks. I was going to say maybe the theme of this episode is depression, but I don't necessarily like that. So, Jock, we're going to go ahead and sit you down. Now, I will say this. The thing in the NBA, because I'm not going to say, I check Twitter a lot, but Twitter kind of lies to you a lot. But it seems, because I've been keeping an eye on the standings and other teams, it's just the Nets have been doing pretty decent, which only really matters to us because we have Michael Porter Jr. on the team now. And I don't know if the Nets will trade him. Time will tell there. I know a lot of teams seem interested in him. He's done well this season to the point that teams should be interested in him. It's also, again, not the best thing because we have to play them this week. What I was getting at is the Nets have been, the Nets aren't the worst team in the league, I'll at least say. So, what I was getting at is Day'Ron Sharpe, who we also acquired, is doing very well. So that's why we're bringing him in early because he's doing very well in real life. We'll see if he can duplicate that or be somewhat like that on here. But even things that should be happy to start the year off, and the two things that come to my mind, because I'm a wrestling fan, Hiroshi Tanahashi's like retirement, like was a beautiful moment. It was a cool moment. Love Hiroshi Tanahashi. It's more sad than it is like happy, if we're just being honest. I kind of knew that was going to happen, but I went for it anyways. Freaking Stranger Things ending, which I watched it literally Wednesday night. That way I didn't get spoiled. I don't even think I talked about it on the channel, but I watched it Wednesday night, so I didn't get spoiled. Like that should have been happy, but it's like more depressing than it is happy. Again, kind of the whole sentiment that I'm saying. So back to actually basketball talk and Grizzlies talk. I think that's all Fox. That is all Fox. That's good. I will say this probably a lot throughout the series. I hate when teams have the sentiment of not making moves or not making changes. And it feels like a lot of this Grizzlies season already is a lot of that. I could say we made a lot of changes. We are like 30-ish%, maybe a little bit more throughout the season already. And it feels that, what I said in the last video, we have to put out whoever is available, you go out there and play. And if we win, we win. We lose, we lose. Which is just not something that I necessarily like. We've had to deal with half of our team on the injury report. Now, we're probably going to deal with more people on the injury report. I think that there's a chance that what I was getting at with my fantasy basketball, this is my most reliable source when it comes to like injury return dates, but because it said that Edie estimated return January 9th, Ty Jerome January 15th. Now, the whole reason I'm saying this is it just feels again that this season has been a lot of the same thing over and over again and not really looking for the change. I'm not saying you got to trade the whole team. I'm not even saying names that should be traded, even though if you watch my first video, you probably like, you literally did that last time around. That's just giving y'all an idea. What I was getting at is like, the thing that I don't like when it comes to, this is sports in general, but the Grizzlies have done this a lot, and other teams and just other sports have obviously done it. Ty Jerome was supposed to be a big free agency signing for us, and he has not played for us at all this season, which sucks. That, again, depression, which I guess kind of ties in with 2025, but you get the point. There is going to be the idea that once he comes back, they're like, this is going to be our change. We need to see how the team looks with Ty Jerome, which I do understand that. I do respect that. When Zach Edey played, it was not for long, which, again, depressing. But, that's depressing. I don't know how he missed that. That's going to miss. That should have been a win, but it is. I think that's kind of Michael Porter Jr.-esque. I don't like, the main message I'm trying to get at is I don't like the idea of people that are like on the team but returning from injury, people going like, oh, that's their big move, waiting for them to come back. Because we did this last season because we missed Vince, and this is one of the main reasons why I'm not a big fan of it. Last season we did it because we missed out. Vince Williams Jr. and GG started the season injured, and then they came back and we were expecting them to be like they were the previous year, where they were getting a lot of minutes and producing. And then they just came back last season and did not do anything. We're not that good. We got dunked on. And I think that's kind of what we're relying on right now, but at least like Ty Jerome is I don't want to say veteran player because he's not been, I hate using that term veteran. Experienced player. It's kind of the same word as veteran, but you get my point. Now, we have not seen him with this team at all in general. So, I'm not the biggest fan of that idea. It's also just like, I don't like this idea that we have to just like, yes, we are an injury-prone team, and we got to rely on the injuries like so much and like overcome. Like, other teams don't do that. It's like the Nuggets are doing it now, but this is like the first time in a minute they've had to rely on that, you know? So, Anytime we get a good moment like this, especially because it's Cedric. Love Cedric. Maybe a bright spot of 2025. I don't know. My whole message there that I was getting at is I don't like this idea of just waiting for players to get healthy. That's going to be what changes everything. It could, but I don't think that's going to be the end all be all. I wish that Sharp would have went for I don't know why he came closer to us to set a screen. So got a lot of stuff off my chest. I feel like there's still a lot more that I need to get off my chest. So Harrison Barnes dunks on us again, which has been his MO this season. So we're actually going to call a timeout to get some new players in. Very rarely do I call timeouts. I just try to go. We're also a minute. We got only a minute 19 left in the first, which time is flying by. I can see why I don't call the timeouts. Because this crappy music plays that I have to skip out on. So, I don't like Josh shooting guard. But everybody that I wanted in is in. So, we will not be that against it. It is also interesting because the day I'm filming this, the Suns beat the Thunder. And those are our next two opponents after this game. It's kind of hard to win that battle because Luke Cornett towers over everybody. Let that one in. We'll probably play that Suns game if this lead holds up, but it's only the first quarter. I also want it to be known that I gave Stephen Castle these accessories. 2K is too lazy to do it for some reason. But I feel that Stephen Castle is one of the players with the most accessories. And I don't know their actual reasoning towards it. I know that I heard once a wrestling figure designer because there was a specific figure. It was a Aleister Black figure. You can look it up. This is so. If you're a basketball fan, you're like, what the F are you talking about? But for wrestling fans, there's a wrestling figure of Aleister Black. I don't know what series it was, but it's an elite figure. We also blew the lead going into the start. All right. I shouldn't have just said anything. Okay. Don't like this. All right, let's get in right here. And essentially what I'm trying to get at is they put so much detail into the tattoos that they didn't want to cover the tattoos up. So I feel that's somewhat of what happens with the people that they don't give accessories on here. Or it might just be a case of them being lazy as well, which I think it's that as well. As things are not going to go. And I don't even think Wemby was out there. Wemby's not even out here right now. So who do we need in? We should actually look. Let's look at these stats. Who is doing well first? Ja, Sadiq, Jaren, Coward, Michael Porter. It's going to be we're giving Jaren a heavy task and putting him at center. He has 8 rebounds, which tonight is a good night to do that. Michael Porter Jr. also has 10 rebounds. Sharp has a lot of rebounds. Land only has 1. Jock, come on. How that didn't go in, I don't know. That was right in the freaking middle. Okay. Calling timeout. And we're going to put Jaren at center. Michael Porter at power forward. And Sadiq. This is very risky because they both have 49 energy. We're going to put Jalen Wells in at small forward. And then we will bring in Sadiq at small forward. Give him a couple of seconds of rest. This is probably not going to work out, but we'll try it. All right. We're down 13. I thought we were down 10. We're about to spam the 3. We're about to freaking get a defensive stop, spam the 3, or an open shot. To be fair, they're trying to do the same thing. Again, the tip there is what helped there. If Wemby's not in front of that rim, we might just also just go to the rim, which it also doesn't help. I'm not going to look. I know I said a lot. The Lakers cried about fouls. I'm standing by that. There's also a case of in the game tonight, we were in the bonus pretty early, I think in the third. That means you drive to the paint a lot to try to get a foul call. I don't like that. That sucked. And we just settle with jump shots, Keep doing what you're doing. That way you get the freaking bonus free throws. So we're trying to go as fast as we can. They're going to try to go as slow as they can. We're trying to get the ball out of Fox early. We're relying a lot on Jaren right now. Which I did something very bad. I'm glad that missed. We left Wemby way too open. And I said, if he's not in front of that rim, we're going to the rim. Glad Jalen Wilson coming in, contributing. Even though we're about to take him out and look like an idiot for doing it. But Sadiq Bey needed a break. Okay. What bothered me is I knew that was coming and literally was going for it right before it even happened. And it did not help. 2 minutes left. That's horrendous. But it went in because we're on easy. We're not on easy. We are on pro. That should not have went in. The look, yes. The attempt, no. Okay. There's going to be... I should challenge it, but it's a little bit too late. All right. Seven points. Immediately gave the ball up. And we lost. I shouldn't have given Stephon Castle these damn upgrades. That's what, okay, that went in. That's a flagrant. That is a flagrant if I've ever seen one. Top of the head. Okay. It also doesn't help that it's there's going to be a back-to-back game. That's the other thing I don't like. And we lost. While we're leaving Fox that open, I don't know. That was very bad. All right. First loss of the season. Theories. That's the word I'm looking for. Theories. It's also kind of hard to stop Wemby without. Edey. It's very hard to stop Wemby. It's not impossible. It's a lot easier to do it when there's Edey, which there is no Edey. So we're going to try to get our get back, and we're going to play against the Suns. Now, I'm not going to do this every game. I probably will do it most games. But we're changing Josh's shoes. When you're a franchise guy so good enough that he has his own shoes, you gotta take advantage of that. So the top pair are his default pair that he wears. These other three are ones that I've made in the shoe creator. The top two are actual real shoes. This bottom one, thing one, my fantasy football team, fantasy basketball team as well, are the Icemen. And I saw a tweet the other day, and it's like, oh, look at these Ja 3s titled the Iceman. And I was like, wow, I got to create these. These go perfectly with the city jersey as well because it's white. It's very similar to the city jerseys. Maybe this is why they made them. But my main thing is, I don't think these are actually. I think those are like custom ID shoes, where these top two are actual shoes. So I'll try to do this a lot during the course of the season. But we got to play against Phoenix. We're doing very well right now. I'm pretty sure we also kept their pick in the trade we made. I want to know. We're going to look at this. We're not going to make a trade. We made that. We did that last time around. Real life. Probably should make a trade. So I don't remember what trade we made to get this Hawks pick. I think we traded somebody to the Hawks for Dante and this pick, which might be good. Might be good, actually. And then we kept the Suns pick. Because my mentality, I don't know if I would have this mentality if I was really in charge of the team, but for the sake of this series, my mentality is we're going to win games, and that pick's not going to mean anything. I know that's not really the mentality you're supposed to have in real life, but, you know, that's what I went with here. Next season, we only got one. 2028, we got one. 2029, we got one. So we only got one of the next 4 years. So we'd might need to do some things to get some more first-round picks. It's always nice to build up on that. But we got two this year, so we've got that done for now. And we have the Suns pick, which, again, my goal is to make the Suns bad. We need the Suns to be bad because of the pick swap. So they're gonna wear their statement jerseys. I like their what are their city jerseys? There's their city jerseys. They're gonna wear their statement jerseys. Kind of similar. I'm only saying that because they're both black. And we're gonna wear our statement jerseys. And the next game we are going to wear our city jerseys. And the Thunder, I don't care what they wear. So here we go. Another game. Game 2. I'd also no clue what the title of this video will be. Because the goal, I don't know. Is there a way to look at the standings from here? Because I'm pretty sure the Thunder are obviously at 1. It would take a lot for them to not be at 1. I'm pretty sure the Spurs are at 2. We should have probably started sharp, by the way. I also don't like that we had like a 15-plus lead. It might have been 20, but 15-plus lead in that last game and gave it up. Which, when I was playing, is when the lead got built. So there we go. That's a good start. Jock getting a good start right here. Jock getting a good start here. So this is a Wednesday game. I'm not gonna say it's a goal for 2026, but I want to watch a lot of college basketball this year. I've kind of done out a lot already, even though if there's been college football on, I've kind of prioritized that a little bit more because there was not a lot of the season left. So, but now that college football is like winding down, I'm gonna try to watch some college basketball. Now, I know I shouldn't be doing this, but I definitely shouldn't be doing this because I immediately found Book, who did miss. I will not do a lot of the things I will admit again that I would do on here. I probably wouldn't do in real life. Colin Gillespie, I will admit, has a good argument for most improved player. He should at least be one of the nominees. And I don't like that Dylan Brooks is the one meeting us down here because that could have went badly, but it went in, so it went good. Good is goodly a word? I know badly is. That's something I need to look up. Pretty goodly defense by us early, as they have not scored. Kind of pissed about last game, taking it out on them. Back-to-back Ja. All right, Ja, we've been doing well with Ja's threes, and then it's kind of stopped there. Go to the rim. There's not a big guy down there. Go to the rim. Please don't play any music. Thank you. Cheerleaders, thank you. All right, good start, good start. As good of a start as you can have. We're only 3 minutes in. I don't like that. I did go for it. I did go for it, but him jumping, acting like he was shooting that far out. How many Mark Williams threes have there been in his career? I'm glad that went in, because it did not look like it would. 0%. I think that might be the first time I've seen that down there, because, you know. Still the 0%. There we go. So we brought Michael Porter Jr. here for. And that's where it stopped. Because I thought Book was going to pull up for 3. And it just left Mark Williams open. No longer 0%. Okay. I'm trying to go for a steal. I think it's very rare that you can get a steal on somebody dribbling the ball anymore. You have to exhaust their, and this is just me talking from experience with the game. They have to, like, literally hold the ball the whole possession, have no energy, then you go for it, or just wait for them to pass it, which even then it's not. A lot of times you overshoot it, and then they're left open. Okay, so I'm glad that Jock got the rebound off of that. Coward, open, bang. It's very difficult to do this off of a back-to-back, I will admit. So the fact that it's happening is good. Jump too early with Jaren. Let's bring in Sharp. We're leaving Coward in. He's at 90%. I like Cam Spencer, but he doesn't need to be in this early. Y'all see that Daron Sharp's percentage went up to 99. He was at 100. Or went down, actually. How you do that? From just getting up. And then the next possession will bring in Bay. I want a 30-point lead. Okay. We got 2.5 seconds. Is immediately catch and shoot. That's a tech. How's that not a tech? Okay, it's not a catch and shoot because we didn't win the dang tip. Even though we touched the ball. You know, went the opposite way. Okay, this is twice now that's happened because I'm trying to... we shouldn't have had Jaren on Book on that possession. I was trying to see... Because I thought they were going to give it to Book, and then he pulled up, and then I could get it with Jaren. But the Jaren was kind of in between two guys. Coward, though. He's not your normal rookie. You can say that about a lot of the rookies in this draft class. What I'll tell y'all, y'all reach for the freaking ball, then you... There we go. 3 of 15 to 12 of 15. Speaking of percentages, the NFL season is done. The last 2 seasons, I did predictions on the channel. I didn't this year, mainly because I just didn't feel like it. But I still made, like, I kept up with my predictions in my notebook still. And the season is done. I'm not lying to y'all. 69%. The previous, I remember the first season was 64%, and the second season was 66%. Power rankings. Look at these dang power rankings. Forget it. We're 17. Don't like that. We have to do something about that. So, like I said, we're bringing in Bay next possession. That should have went in. He worked for that. That shouldn't win it. All right. There we go, Jaren. Getting your own rebounds. That's good. Putting them back up. That's better. I'm certain the video title is going to be top 2, not 2. That's a saying that I use a lot. It's a saying in sports. And we're going against the top 2 teams in the West. I think, I'm going to hope the Spurs, for the sake of the title, especially because I already announced it. That was bad. We're making Aaron Sharp look bad. I apologize to Mr. Sharp. My stomach is starting to bumble. I have not ate in a while. Who is that? It's Jalen Green. Jalen Green's about to check in off the bench. It's kind of realistic because he has not played in a while, and they're doing well with this lineup. Not something you would normally see. As I might do the risky thing of just simming to the end of this once we get to the end of this quarter. And we could put our attention towards the Thunder. Which it is good. I will admit it is a good thing that our next 4 games are at home. You know, I always like looking at the games at home. Especially, I don't like games in California. Even though, and it sucks, because one of our goals for this season was to win your games in California. Because last season, I don't think they won a single game in California. And to start the year, we had already won 2 in LA versus the Clippers and a game against Sacramento. So we were on a good roll. And then, of course, we lose both to the Lakers. So it's already an improvement on last year, but still wish you could have beat the Lakers. Because now we got Sharp looking good. Now we got Sharp looking good. So let's bring in, we're going to bring in Wells, and then we're going to bring in Bay. And then after that, we'll bring in Spencer. I only fouled that way. We didn't have to call a timeout. I know it's not the smartest thing. Ryan Dunn. There we go. Okay. Let me make Mark Williams 5 of 5. That's kind of crazy. Now, what is even crazier about that is I remember looking at the stats, and he went 5 of 5 in the game before this because it shows you like the stats from the previous game. But he's not paying attention to Sadiq Bey, who I still think we should trade. I think there's a lot of teams that should trade for Sadiq Bey. If my team was the one that did it, I'd be even happier. But I've been asking for this for several years now. All right. Y'all hear that? I've not ate in 10 hours. And even when I did, I ate a bowl of tater tot casserole. Shout out to my mother. I don't know when I'll eat again. That's not my mother's fault. I want to put that out there. It's just me being... Okay, all right. Enough about food. We're getting ate alive right now by Mark Williams. Let's give Dante a chance. It's kind of risky, but I don't know what Jock Landale's stamina is going to be at. So that's why we're not bringing him in just yet. You know what? Let's leave Sharp in. Let's leave Sharp in. Screw it. You know what? Screw it. I already got Dante out there. I want to see if he just, like, how long it takes him to go back. All right. Let's see if we get it done. And we did. Good. Sadiq Bey, a big Sadiq Bey game. A big Sadiq Bey game. Jaren. Sharp. Dante got some. Dante got 7 points. He went through a 3. He pulled a Mark Williams. Let's go look at what Mark Williams finished with. 9 of 16. Book had 39, which, yeah, 19 in the second. Played all of the fourth, even though the team lost 142 to 108. That's a 2K thing. That's not really a them thing. So now our attention is going to the Thunder. Now, before we play them, let's look at the standings. That way, because if they're the top 2, we know what the title of the video is going to be. If they're not, okay, they are. The Timberwolves are 3rd. I don't think that's how it is in real life. But we're about to get to the point where things are dramatically different. I know that some things are already different, but dramatically different pretty soon. As the 73-9. Yeah, the Thunder legitimately cannot lose another game if they want to break the Warriors record. And Shea is not healthy. Shea, I'm always going to go the longest route to find this. He is day-to-day with a hyperextended left knee. So maybe that is why that is the case. I also don't, your goal is to win a championship. Do you get a banner for going 73-9? I'd have to. That's a good thing. I don't think they have. I don't think they did, especially because they didn't win. If they won the title and went 73-9, they probably would have done something special, but they sold that. But I'm not going to really worry about the Warriors that much. Now, glad that I remembered. We're going to be rocking the city jerseys, and John are going to be wearing these shoes. So last game of the video against the Thunder. Let's finally beat them because it has been a long time. I've had several chances to, and then just hell happens, I guess. So, I do need to see this. Edie is day-to-day. Ty Jerome is 1 to 2 more weeks. Scottie Pippen is 1 to 2 more weeks. So Edie's not available for this game. Here's I don't really like these Thunder jerseys, by the way. They're city ones. Well, I like ours. That's what we're in this game. And we'll go all white. I don't like that it gives us black default shoes with all white jerseys, by the way. Sorry that music is louder than my ear. All right. Last game of the vid. See how this goes. On the tip. We need to do more of that. I love that. Two open. Not open enough to hit the 3. Michael Porter Jr., boom. Open. Holy crap. I did not even. I thought the ball was in Coward's hand. Good on Hardenstein. Okay. Is Dort healthy? This is the big question because, the last time he played in this freaking arena, I think he played since then. We don't need Dort anywhere near Ja. Is the best way to put it. Give Coward another chance to put up more points, which he does. I'm glad with that. You know, we're getting a screenshot of this. This is what I want the screenshot to be. See, when I zoom out, it just gets too much. This is right here. This is what we need. I need the like top of this. There we go. Something like this. We'll do this. I also feel that Jalen Williams needs another hairstyle in the game, but it's not really one of my top priorities. All right, we have a mismatch somewhere. It's not the biggest mismatch, but especially when Jalen Williams comes right over there. I will feel, because I'm a Jaren defender a lot, because he has a lot of red flags. Let's put him that way. Okay, doesn't rebound, and I have to hear about it like every other game. And it was not a good thing when I looked at like an Instagram stat that was not even like, it was just like an NBA page. It wasn't even like a Grizzlies page. It was like Jaren had 1 rebound. That is bad. That is terrible. I will admit that is terrible. But that Thunder series, once Ja went out, it felt like he would put his back to the basket and Hartenstein or Chet would be behind him. And then Alex Caruso would just come over and beat the crap out of him and like grab his arm and get the ball. And nobody cared. Nobody did anything about it, like except for me to remember it 6 months later. And I wonder if Caruso is healthy. So, let's take advantage of the mid-range. Let's do some mid-range shots. I'm not against it. Jaren went 2 blocks early. Let's get him to 10. Let's get him to 10 blocks. Let's get him back of the decoy race. It also was depressing. Okay, that's all. It's been like 30 minutes since I said that word. I remember during last year when Wemby went out with injury because he was the heavy favorite for decoy and probably would have won it. That Jaren was like right behind, like he was like the next favorite, and it just completely didn't matter. I didn't like that. And I don't like that as the case this year. And I feel that like he's better defensively when Edie's here. I think that would help and should have helped like Edie's decoy case, which, you know, let's get Edie a decoy sometime soon. Okay, we left Chet way too open. Okay, too worried about blocks. You don't know me like that. You do not know me like that. There we go. Ethical hoops, by the way. No fouls yet. Jaw dunk. The last game we fouled. How many times we foul? I don't know. He probably should have went up with that. So we got a steal. Both would have been good shots, but by the time like I caught it, the defender was there. Good looks, let's put it that way. Ugh, went up too early. Y'all can say what y'all want about Jaws 3. I feel that I do very well with Jaws 3 on here. As we're about to do something very bold. That should have been a block. And I think that we're putting Jaren at center. because they were about to call timeout. Jalen Williams, first option hoops, as ACM would say. I'd rather us bring in Sharp. Then we'll bring in Bay next time around, which they might bring him in right now. And I see him out there. So we took out who did we take out? Took out Jaren. I don't like that. I want to get blocks with Jaren. We'll leave it. If it goes like bad, we'll change it. All right, that was bad. Look at the Nets. The Nets got another win down there. I see him. All right, we're bringing Jaren immediately back. Yeah, let's just say he had to tie his shoes. We'll leave Michael Porter out. Or will we? Kyle Anderson got traded down there. We'll have to look at the trades at the end of this. How they left AJ Mitchell that open, I don't know, because Ja was in the paint. This is why I wanted Michael Porter Jr. He's got a very good offense going this season. I see Lou Dort and Caruso coming in, who I just went off on like 5 minutes ago. All right, our defense has kind of went down since Jaren got subbed out. Let's go ahead and bring him back instead of waiting longer. 3 timeouts in the first. It's kind of crazy. Also, I like Sharp. His energy kind of goes down pretty quick. As example, the freaking him just checking in, he's already at a 99 stamina the last game. So AJ Mitchell did not extend his arms long enough to stop it. Oh, we challenged it. We challenged it. We might do a challenge video. I'm trying to get all these blocks I can. We kind of were all over him, but I feel that we blocked him before we were all over him.
After review, the ruling on the floor stands.
Okay. I was reading on Twitter, got me distracted. There we go. I can't believe they fell for that, by the way. I think they got Ushman Dang at center at the moment. Because they brought in Kenrich Williams for like a half a second. Okay. You heard me talking about him. There we go. I always give credit to the Christian Colocolo alley-oops during the game against the Lakers. Those are nice. There's at least 2 that I remember. I did tip that ball. Felt it. Tipped it again. Don't let Lou Dort come near your jaw while he's running. It's not blocked, but it did not go in. Got tipped it to the wrong person, but at least it wasn't a turnover. All right. That going in is kind of bull crap. I just freaking put my microphone up my nose. Oh, that accident. We'll have too many people open over there. Let's keep it going. Let's keep it going. Let's keep it going. I shouldn't have done that, but I didn't care. I like that we like really contest the shots and they just boom, boom, boom go in. Oh baby, oh baby, oh baby. Y'all stay tuned. Let's look at the bench's reaction to that one. That I think that's a good way to end this. Where is the bench? Gotta go to the freaking. Oh baby, oh yeah. We'll look at their reaction, and then we'll freaking look at the dunk again. Because you can't just like, all right, let's do it this way. I feel like there's a lot of people missing as well. There we go. And let's go look at the actual thing. Spin. Wasn't near. Chet tried to come. Boom, he did. Didn't help. That was a good way to wrap things up. Unless we sell very badly, which would actually be the opposite of a good way to wrap things up. Did I say that these Thunder jerseys remind me of Dragon Ball Z? I mainly think that because like Isaiah Joe has the black shirt under and it kind of makes it look like Goku. Okay, I did get a little concerned. But things ended like we would want them to. Ja at 39. Michael Porter Jr. 30. See, I'm glad that Ja with 6 steals. Kind of crazy too. Very good for him. Bay, 315. It's a little bit better. I'm glad that trading for Michael Porter Jr. is like he's still carrying his offense. You know, I know it's only been 2 weeks, but things are looking okay for us. So we're in. I think that's a perfect way to end it. I already told y'all the next episode, old faces in new places. Episode after that might be to the trade deadline. I don't know when that'll be done and all that, but time will tell. So I do appreciate y'all for watching this as always. like, comment, subscribe, and I will see you when I see you because I'm out for now. Goodbye.